Friday for extreme heat. We're on your side with the latest on how hot we're going to get and how hot it's going to feel as we head into the end of your week. And we teach you all about the science of sweat and how it works to help cool your body down on these hot days. Plus, we take you around the country to other places who are also enduring extreme temperatures.
Live on your side. First Alert Weather Extra starts right now.
Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. So glad to have you all sticking around. Has it been a hot day? I know. Well, get ready because more hot temperatures are on the way. Let's get straight into it and talk about the next big thing. As you can see here, we have First Alert Weather Days, not just today, but it's carrying into your Friday. And it's going to be even hotter as we approach your Wednesday afternoon with those afternoon highs nearing 100 degrees. Not only are we battling the heat, we're also battling the drought. We've got dry conditions for most of our western counties, moderately dry conditions for Fayette, parts of Walker, up to Winston, parts of Marion County, most of Lamar County, northern Pickens and Tuscaloosa, and even extending into the western portions of Coleman County. But many of our western counties dealing with abnormally dry conditions, and then it looks like we have some drought for the southern portions of Tallapoosa and even Chambers County. It's just been so hot, it's only making our drought conditions worse across the area. So we're in need of some rain, but we're not getting it right now or through this evening. Staying dry this evening, we've got current temperatures in the 90s, 91 there in St. Clair County, 92 in Calhoun County. Starting to see some heat relief, cooling off for our eastern counties, but still pretty hot in our western counties. 96, so still those upper 90s in Fayette, Hamilton, 96 in Marion, 96 there in Pickens. It's going to be hot for your evening. Here's a look at that hour by hour forecast over the next couple of hours. By 8 p.m., mid 80s, we bring in 10 o'clock, lower 80s, light winds for you this evening. Not feeling too bad once that sun sets. I know you're probably waiting for that. If you need to get some work done, it's best to do it later into this evening, or you can get up tomorrow morning and handle your outdoor business. But it's going to be another hot afternoon tomorrow, Thursday and Friday. Temperatures nearing 100 degrees. So that's why that First Alert Weather Day continues, but it looks like we could have a little bit of wet weather to bring us some much needed heat relief. Not just tomorrow, but a better chance Thursday and into your Friday with a slight rain chance for your Saturday and your Sunday. We're looking at widely scattered activity. So here's a look at those First Alert headlines. That First Alert Weather Day today through your Friday. We've got highs in the upper 90s, but like I mentioned, we could see some showers and even some storms carry into our end of this week by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and through your Labor Day weekend. But as the temperatures rise, now is a great time to download our First Alert Weather app. Right here, you can using the app, you can actually get alerts where you live by the hour, and you can activate our live radar. Just scan the QR code that you see right here on your screen right now. That's also a great tool to have because, hey, you can send in those weather photos that we love to share. But it's time for your moment of science. And in this week's moment of science, these hot temperatures mean we're working up a sweat. Dan Smith has the how and why behind your glistening skin.
Well, it's gross, it stinks sometimes, and it's pretty well come in handy throughout human history. This week, we're breaking down the science of sweat. It should come as no surprise the vast majority of sweat is water, with tiny amounts of electrolytes like sodium and potassium thrown in. Those help with electrical impulses in your body like flexing muscles, so replenishing those electrolytes during and after exercise can be very important, especially for athletes or manual laborers who can lose as much as 10 to 12 liters or nearly 3 gallons of sweat per day. It's your cue to go hydrate right now. Maybe you're not an athlete and just like spicy food. That's called gustatory sweating, with capsaicin binding to receptors in your mouth to fool the brain into that temperature difference. We explored that one the hard way once, but it made for great TV.
They're close to 10,000 on the okay, that is hitting me way harder than I thought.
Sweat's main purpose is to regulate body temperature, and you know that no two bodies are the same. Once that water's on your skin, it evaporates and cools it to counteract overheating. Body size, exercise intensity, and your surroundings play major roles in how much or little sweat you release. You probably heard there's a difference between regular sweat and the kind you get from being stressed, and that is true. Eccrine glands are the simpler ones, about 2 to 4 million in all, that release the water, salt, potassium combo when you're running hot. Apocrine glands, however, release proteins and fatty acids. That's why stress sweat tends to stink more when it combines with bacteria on your skin, and it doesn't evaporate as quickly. Those apocrine glands aren't really good at cooling us off, but they are the only effective ones in hooved animals like cattle or horses. By the way, if you think sweating it out at the sauna is going to give you a nice detox, think again. While trace amounts of heavy metals have been found excreted in sweat, a fully functioning liver, kidneys, and other organs are always going to do a much better job, and losing more sweat to heat can cause more of an imbalance than you might be going for. One last note, some medications like antidepressants can not only raise your body temperature, but also impair sweat production. Those meds tend to work by keeping serotonin up in your brain instead of being reabsorbed by the body, but that also messes with the hypothalamus up there, which regulates your internal temperature. Whether you take medication or not, it's always a good idea to stop for a few seconds and take stock of what your body's trying to tell you on a hot or stressful day. For this week's Moment of Science, I'm Dan Smith.
And take a look behind me at those potential highs for your Wednesday afternoon. If you thought today was hot, you're only in for even hotter conditions tomorrow. We bring in your Wednesday afternoon even closer to 100 degrees. I think the closest spot based on our estimated high temperatures tomorrow will be around the Walker County area, Jasper at 99, but still really hot in Fayette at 98, 98 in Jefferson County, 97 in Calhoun County, slightly cooler in Clay around 95, 97 in Greene County, 97 also in Pickens County. The heat is staying with us, but we're not the only ones dealing with it. The National Weather Service reporting parts of the Midwest remain in excessive heat warnings. Thankfully, we haven't seen any of those. Those hot temperatures combined with humidity could make it feel up to 115 degrees, causing several towns in the Midwest throughout the area to provide cooling centers for the public. And as back to school continues, some districts are protecting students by canceling practices and even delaying the start of school because of just how hot it is.
Ultimately, when we are looking at the heat and the predicted heat index, combined with the fact that the majority of our buildings do not have air conditioning, we want a positive start to the school year, and we're looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, no. If you don't have air conditioning, cancel school for me too, right? Health experts recommend that you pay attention to potential dehydration symptoms and look out for those who may be prone to heat-related illnesses. And we tell you all the time, drink plenty of water. But this also comes as the same area is not just dealing with the heat, but they're also dealing with the threat of severe weather over the next coming days. These storms are capable of producing damaging winds and large hail. Parts of Michigan already feeling the effects of strong winds, with nearly 300,000 customers without power as of this evening. A brief tornado can also not be ruled out during these storms. And be sure to stay tuned right here on Weather Extra tomorrow, where we're going to explain how a phenomenon called corn sweat is fueling these storms as well. But in the tropics, let's head to meteorologist Matt Daniel for updates on the latest developments.
Well, we are entering the peak of the hurricane season, and thankfully it's been a little quiet. Typically around late August, we'll start to see several systems out there in the Atlantic that are worth watching. But right now, the environment's not quite favorable for development. But we've had 5 named storms, which is pretty typical at this point as you go into late August and September. But we really see the season ramp up in activity in September. So the peak of the season, September 10th, can stay very busy through September and the first half of October. And then by the time we go into November, that's when activity really starts to calm down. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. We are monitoring one area out there. I'll show you that coming up shortly. But typically as we enter September, it is fair game wherever you go. We will likely see, most likely to see development, of course, as you go towards the Lesser Antilles and parts of the Central Atlantic, towards Bermuda. Also, as you go into the Bahamas, the Gulf, and into parts of the Caribbean. So it's definitely very warm when it comes to those sea surface temperatures. It's just, is the actual upper level environment favorable for a storm to develop? Well, it's been a struggle. We've got these tropical waves moving off the coast of Africa. They've been sort of elevated to the north and over cooler water, and that's prevented anything from developing. But we are watching one little tropical wave National Hurricane Center's got its eyes on it. It's got a 20% chance it could possibly develop over the next several days. And looking at the long range with our tropical forecast, you can see little waves of rain trying to move off the coast of Africa, but just not much quite making it there. So it's not showing a lot of activity going into the weekend and going into the early part of next week, but we'll just have to wait and see what develops. But with the system that far out in the Atlantic, it takes days before it actually impacts land. So usually if you see something form in the eastern central Atlantic, it usually takes about 8 days before it makes it towards the United States. Then once it gets closer to the Lesser Antilles, towards Puerto Rico and Hispaniola, we're talking about 3 to 5 days. And then anything that forms right off the East Coast or in the Gulf usually takes 2 days or less to make it into the United States. So it gives us plenty of time to make those forecasts and keep you updated. But for now, we're quiet. We'll keep watching it as we go into September.
Thanks, Matt. Coming up in 30 seconds, we take a quick check on our radar, and we're going to take you down to the University of Alabama, where they're getting ready for the first game and getting ready to protect these fans from the heat. We'll be right back. Welcome back into Weather Extra. I'm meteorologist Tania Michelle, taking a quick check on our radar, and I'm happy to say there's nothing to track right now. We're watching dry conditions for you this evening, so if you're in a hurry to head to a concert this evening, well, you're in for a treat. Dry conditions continue for you as well. We'll only hold on to a few clouds. Temperatures in the mid-80s right around 8 p.m. 9 o'clock, holding temps in the low 80s. We've got this light east-southeasterly wind, and I forgot to mention, this concert starts at 7, so you literally have less than 20 minutes to head out to the Oak Mountain Amphitheater to listen to and really jam out to Stone Temple Pilots and live. As far as that bus stop forecast tomorrow, as you're getting your kids ready and dropping them off, they're going to see temperatures in the low 70s, lots of sunshine, but a very hot afternoon by the time you pick them up. Temperatures nearing 98 and even 100 degrees. So keep that in mind. Make sure you crank up the AC before they hop in your car so they can be nice and cool. But it's that time of year again. College football is back, and Chief Meteorologist Wes White takes a trip to Tuscaloosa, where they're preparing for the first game of the season.
Well, we're getting excited. I know you are getting excited. We've got college football coming up this weekend, and joined right now by the Public Safety Director of Communications, Shane Dorrell with the University of Alabama. Shane, I know you guys are excited about some college football.
Oh, we are so excited. Coach DeBoer and the team, I mean, we're ready. You know, we love Coach Saban. We love everything he's done for us, but we can't wait for the Coach DeBoer era to start this Saturday night right here in Bryant-Denny Stadium against Western Kentucky.
Well, listen, you guys do a lot of work throughout the year, mitigation efforts, just awareness around campus about severe weather. We know severe weather is a big deal here in West Alabama.
Yes,
and, you know, storms happen sometimes. We've got the heat. We've got the extreme cold. I mean, we've been inside this stadium right here with sleet falling.
That's right.
So tell folks at home some of the things you guys are doing, at least for the front end of the season. We're dealing with this extremely hot weather, some measures you're taking this year to really help that fan experience.
So it is going to be hot those first few home games, and we want all the fans to know that. Best thing they can do, drink plenty of water before they come to the game. But when they come to the stadium, they can bring a cup or a bottle, as long as it's not made of glass. So they can bring a plastic cup, they can bring their Yeti, they can bring their Stanley, they can fill it up. We've got big water monsters throughout the stadium. They're 150-gallon tanks of cold, filtered water that's good to drink, and it's totally free, Wes.
I heard free water. That doesn't sound too bad, but still ahead on First Alert Weather Extra, we're going to talk about the heat even more and when we could see our next chance for rain. We're also going to talk about how seasons can impact our mental health. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back. Welcome back in, everyone. Here's a look at that super 7-day forecast. If it looks like and sounds like I'm out of breath, it's because I am, because it's still pretty hot outside. But the good thing about being outdoors right now is that I can hear the bands playing. I believe that's at UAB. I feel the vibes, and I definitely can feel that it's college football season. Whew, I'm catching my breath. All right, here we go. Wednesday afternoon highs are gonna be up there. If you're gonna be doing any outdoor strenuous activities tomorrow afternoon, don't do what I did and just run up a hill. It's too hot for that. Wednesday, 3 p.m., temperatures nearing triple digits, 100 in Walker County, 99 there in Cherokee County. Lots of sunshine tomorrow. That won't be the problem. It's just that it's going to be so hot, and we're trending even hotter tomorrow afternoon than we were this afternoon. This evening isn't going to be too bad. We're going to see temperatures overnight as we bring in your early Wednesday, starting off in the low 70s for most areas. Low 70s again as we bring in your Thursday morning. We're going to hold on to a 30% chance for a shower or storm Thursday afternoon, but we could honestly see an isolated shower tomorrow afternoon. Here we are Wednesday, 2 p.m. There is a chance for a light shower, mainly down south and west central Alabama. Most areas will likely stay dry. Wednesday, 8 p.m., 86 degrees in Jefferson County, 81 there in Marion. We bring in your Thursday, 3 o'clock. Periods of heavy rainfall can't be ruled out, but still plenty of breaks to get out and enjoy. There are games starting Thursday, so if you're going to be at a football game for your evening, just make sure you're staying hydrated, wearing sunscreen, maybe even bring a hat, at least until sunset arrives and that sun isn't just beaming down on you while you're in those stadiums and in those stands. Because if you ever noticed, it's always hotter in the stadium and in the stands than it is anywhere else. So you definitely want to make sure you're implementing heat safety for any plans at football games this week. Friday is going to be a beautiful day, except there is still a chance for a shower or storm around. We'll see highs in the upper 90s. Here's a look at those Friday afternoon highs. Still, again, trending near triple digits, maybe not quite at it. 96 in Pickens County, 97 there in Jefferson. We're also going to hold a better rain and storm chance, though, for your Labor Day weekend. We'll see on and off rain and storm chances, still very limited, widely scattered, plenty of breaks, but you definitely want to make sure you have ways to receive weather information and updates, like using our First Alert Weather app. Here we are Sunday, 4 p.m., seeing that chance for a few showers and storms around again into your Labor Day on Monday. So if you have off of work and you're planning on grilling outside or just being outdoors, maybe enjoying the pools before they close, we will hold on to that possible rain chance for early next week as well. Tuesday, holding on to a rain and storm chance, looking like our best day to see a shower or storm develop. Highs next week in the lower 90s, overnight temps in the 70s over the next couple of days. First Alert Weather Day, though, does continue into your Friday, so you definitely want to make sure you're staying hydrated, taking plenty of breaks, and again, don't be like me and just run up a hill. I'll show you why I ran up a hill in just a second, but we're going to prepare to head into a new season very soon, and hopefully very, very soon, because it's just too hot. Meteorologist Shinty Rodriguez joins us now to talk about the impacts of a new season and really what it can bring.
Have you noticed that you or someone you know gets sad or anxious when seasons change? There is actually a medical term for this, and it is known as seasonal affective disorder. Today we have Marty Harding of Empower Counseling with us to talk more about this subject. Marty, thank you for joining us today. And I personally feel anxious when the seasons change. So I think it is very important for us to talk more about this. And I want to ask you, can a person suffer symptoms related to this disorder at any time of the year?
Yes, we actually can. It's a lot more common in the winter, like we talk about, kind of that seasonal depression. But we can also experience in the summer. So we have two different patterns of seasonal affective disorder, or SAD, as we like to call it. That winter pattern starts about late fall and runs throughout the winter, and the summer pattern starts in kind of late spring and runs throughout the summer. Typically it's about a 4 to 5 month cycle, but everyone's different.
Okay, and what are some of the factors that may contribute to this disorder?
A little bit more research does need to be done, but what we do know is the changes of daylight hours really affects our mood. And so especially in the winter time, you know, when the sun does go down around 4:30, it's darker longer, so our bodies aren't producing enough serotonin, and it's also producing a lot more melatonin. So we're not getting a lot of joy and a lot of fulfillment out of life, and we're also, you know, more tired as well, so we're more likely to sleep a little bit more. But in the summer, it's kind of the opposite, where we have, that increased sunlight hours. We have, serotonin's fine, but we're having less dopamine. So we have some sleeping problems. And so if we're not sleeping as much, that can lead to changed mood as well.
Oh, that's very interesting. And what are some of the symptoms that people can feel if they're going through this?
Absolutely. It's kind of similar to what we talk about with just kind of, typical depression. You could have, increased irritability, increased fatigue and tiredness, maybe some feelings of guilt, hopelessness, and, worthlessness. Also persistent, maybe sadness or anxiety, or maybe just persistent feeling of being empty or alone. Also a loss of interest in those activities that we tend to find pretty enjoyable. That goes into it as well. There's also some changes in sleep and appetite, kind of like I said before, especially with that winter pattern, we're more likely to sleep more. It's also been shown that we maybe eat a little bit more in the winter, maybe leading to some weight gain, and also kind of withdrawing socially. It's cold outside, it's dark, we don't really want to go out and hang out with our friends and things like that, so we're more likely to withdraw. But on the other side, that summer pattern, we're not sleeping as much. And so it's also been shown to maybe we don't eat as much and we maybe have some weight loss. And also with that, decreased sleep, maybe some more anxiety, some more frustration, and some more maybe agitated feelings come from that.
Well, in just a little bit, we'll be talking more about my school visit that I went to today. Don't go anywhere. I can't wait to show you this video, and will after the break. Hold it up like this, and then he can go to camera 8. I'll hold it up. Yeah. Oh, there's tape on it. Oh, wait a minute. There's tape on it. They had tape on it. It might work. Watch this, y'all. About to make this happen. Voila. Yeah, that's perfect. I know. Welcome back in, everyone. Oh, yeah. So we have good weather today, right? Is it hot or is it cold, though? Hot. It's hot. I love it, and you probably will love it too. Look at these videos and pictures from my school visit from South Highland Child Development Center. I want to thank the faculty and staff for just being so amazing, so welcoming, and I want to give a special shout out to Miss Tisha for inviting me out. Well, you're watching First Alert Weather Extra. We'll have more updates tonight. I'm ready. Yes, sir. In 3, okay. In 3, 2. Hey there, everyone. First Alert meteorologist Tania Michelle here. First Alert weather days continuing tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, and your Friday. Afternoon highs in the upper 90s. We'll see overnight temps in the 70s, but also increasing rain chances at least by Thursday and into your Labor Day weekend. We'll hold on to widely scattered showers, and even a few storms can be possible. We'll see a little bit of heat relief Labor Day next Monday and into your Tuesday, with a better chance for showers and storms next Tuesday. Keep checking in for updates on those rain chances if you have Labor Day weekend plans. We'll have updates for you throughout the rest of this week on WBRC 6 News and on our First Alert Weather app.